Creeper World 4 time. We're back in the colonies with Queen Takeover and LPAC, or Lightweight Play as Creeper map. You may recall the Queen Returns map we did a while back, which has the same scripts but by a different author. They're basically a low-stress play as Creeper mode with some unique scripting. We have the boost structure, which will increase the power of any of our Creeper structures, Dark Tower, Air Sac, Cauldron, emitters, blobs, whatever it might be. Then the rocks will destroy a nearby cannon, and the eggs will burst for an explosion of creeper, as you would expect. But it's important to remember that the rocks and the eggs, we have to put them near one of our creeper structures or near some active creeper, otherwise they won't function. Like if I just tried to throw them off in the middle of this, like this corner maybe, that's a ways away from structures, it would not really work for us. They would just sit there and wait until something got close enough for them to detonate. So that's a waste if you do that. Now, the sort of straightforward way of doing this map would be to start with our one active emitter and gradually build up and flood over the map. We do have a creeper cutoff value, but not particularly stringent there. However, we did the casualish approach on the last LPAC, so I'm going to go with a more aggressive style here. And the way I'm doing this is not something I came up with completely on my own. Saw the kernel of it in something somebody else had decided to do, and then what I'm doing here is simply refining and making some adjustments to that to make it a little quicker. So we're going to go for a fairly low time, and there's a key item to notice here, which is a shield, which is not actually finished building, so it's not actually protecting this nullifier. We can get this emitter activated much quicker if we immediately invest in this area. So we're going to do that, throw everything we have at getting that rolling. And one of the reasons to do that as we begin here and have nice explosions going on is that we have the read-on, which this is the majority of the human read-on. So they have a couple more out this way, but a lot of shields to run. We can drain them from their ability to run all of their shields. But we're actually going to destroy their read-on supply sooner than that via another method. I want to get to the factory as quick as I can. And this Dark Tower is the closest unit to it. So that's why I'm knocking out the nullifier, etc. over here. We've definitely got another couple more boosts. We're going to want to use these as quickly as we can. And gradually expand our control over there. Now, the next item we need to do is sort of leapfrog eggs over to knock out the factory. Because it's actually a little bit exposed on this side. Now, in order to do that, we're going to need more eggs. I want to get up to 6 eggs. So we just sort of have to wait for all of this to come in. I'm going to conserve my rocks, and I'll conserve my eggs as much as possible as well. Now, for those who aren't aware, you do get more of these in terms of your ammunition, or whatever you may wish to call it, based on both time, but also destroying enemy structures. So there is a reason to use them aggressively if you are able. Okay, there's our boost. And now we're going to hop over here. And that allows us to get up here. We're going to stagger these until there is no more factory. And there it goes. Okay, so that's our next goal. Now we're going to save up eggs and rocks once again. Keep hammering our boosts over here. Oh, another one. Because our goal now, these are all going to drain. And the next few minutes, we're going to be waiting until the 5-minute mark. So the next few minutes here are not going to be all that terribly exciting. But as the shields drain, they'll eventually turn off. And then we want to go after the Rift Lab, which will, of course, reduce the energy supply. It means not long after that, all the nullifiers will go down on all of our structures all over the map. Their weapons will not have power, so they will have limited ability to fight back. And we'll just be able to attack basically everywhere, at least in several different places, by doing it that way. But in order to do that, we have to save up enough because there's a lot of firepower up here. And so in order to be able to handle this, we are going to need a bunch of eggs. Just a few will not be sufficient. So up to 240 every half second on that emitter. And it's very gradually, you know, making some progress outward, but there's obviously a lot of resistance. You can see 140k AC and only a few thousand creeper. All right. We've got about a minute and a half more of this to go before we're ready to launch more aggressiveness. And of course, this emitter, well, not doing much of anything. We could perhaps try to go after it a little bit sooner, but I want to make sure that I have enough eggs. I've got to use a couple of them to sort of jump over here. And then again, it takes a lot of creeper to knock down a Rift Lab. It takes a fair amount of time. And they have some resistance over here, to be sure, with all of these, you know, mortars and whatnot around. So caution is definitely the better part of the approach here, I do believe. About another 30 seconds. And another boost. So we're up to 300 there now. So a sort of waiting game here at the beginning, and then we're going to have an explosion of activity very, very soon. Let's do this. And now we come up top. Same basic idea. You can see we're using up almost all of our eggs. Don't know if that'll be enough, maybe? I don't want to walk away from this till it's actually gone. Might need that one too. There it goes. Okay. Now, I'm going to boost this one over here because this is going to become free in a short second. Of course, no Rift Lab, no energy, but we're waiting for these nullifiers to run out of power. And now they have. Want to go a little bit more on my eggs before I really start throwing them out there. You see, this is starting to really expand itself. I'll try to throw a few more at this, and then I'll move on to the next emitter. Alright, that should be enough. Let's do that, and let's see if... Okay, yep, we've freed you up. You're doing fine over there. I'm going to save my eggs at this point, and I'm going to go after flipping this breeder. And, okay, there's a few of them. You see all the explosions, and every one of those an enemy that will not be returning. Start throwing some rocks down here. So that breeder there will help us just a little bit. And now we're going to start boosting this one. And we're sitting at 50. So we've got more to go. This is getting a little bit iffy, so I'll send a couple more over there. Another boost here. You can see the expansion over here definitely progressing fairly quickly now. Okay, that's a little bit better in that direction. All right. I'll start moving over here and knocking out this airfield next. See how that works. Of course, they're not getting any more energy, so they're not going to launch anyway. But that airfield annoys me, so I'm making it go away. There we go. Okay, so from this point on, I want to balance this emitter and this emitter, I think. Just to sort of spread out the attacks. And then it's a case of, okay, what area do we want to grab with our eggs? I think I'm going to come over here because there's a little bit more breeder. Doing well there. Grab this flip breeder over here next. But I think I want a little bit more in the terms of eggs. That over there is just holding on. Okay. Let's flip the eggs here. Should at least get rid of some of that over there. We've got another egg. Throw that in place. Okay, we should be mostly in control of that at least. So you are at 90 and 110, pretty close to even. Okay, now on the eggs, as see, we've flooded all of this. I want to start making sure we knock out these areas up top that'll take a little bit longer for us to reach. As we're going to continue progressing over that way. So I'd like another rock, if you don't mind so terribly much. Apparently you might, though. The explosion's continuing. There we go. Just want to get rid of this earned cannon. There it goes. Okay, all of that area is going away. And our flow here, well, there isn't much left. But we do still need to get rid of this zone. Another boost. That should do. So now we just have the final bits to wrap up. Maybe give me one more egg? No? Throw one up there. There's another one. And there it is. And the Queen of Creeper looks down at the beautiful creeper world and smiles approvingly. Praise the mother, etc., etc., etc. Yes, our queen. So we escape with victory 1345. I will take it.